Now I'm discussing about this, the one of the nature's a gift that we can commonly call as the green gold, and which is one of the most important material which is exist in our nature, and how the bamboo is being strategically can be met and their sustainabilities and livelihood importance in bamboo I will going to discuss one by one. So, but in general, nature's green gold, we generally call it as a bamboo. And this bamboo, the versatile material, is generally more connected with the poor farmers or the dwellers who are settled in the peripheral fringe areas of the forests. And earlier times, this green gold was beingly or innately being used for various purposes, starting from as a source of food to the till end as a source of cradle after death. And this is what the God's gift which has given to the humans. Until date, the development's sustainability aspect and strategies for meeting this versatile material is very imperative, because many scientists or many researchers who are one or the other way saying that the production, marketing, and proper channelizing yet being developed. So proper sustainability management of bamboo is most important, and that is how we can look forward, because bamboo being a multi-purpose tree or grass, whichever it may be, or you can also call it as multi-purpose material, where it has been sparingly used for development of the nation, and it has been globally been prioritized, which includes in terms of medicines as a form of bioenergy or production of fuels, that is biofuels, biocomposites, and it's having an equal role in constructions. And bamboo is also being replaced nowadays with plastic. And also, prior to this, bamboo was the one of the most important component in paper making. And this is how the bamboo is playing an important role in meeting the whole things. And the role of the bamboos, or the scope of the bamboos, globally has well been taught in the SDGs. This SDGs also been clearly suggested that bamboo is having a versatile role, which well connected with livelihoods, well connected with society, and also been playing an important role in the balancing the ecological or ecosystem role. And Inbar is well connected and well dealt on these aspects, especially how the bamboo is playing an important role in overall developing the sustainability of the country. And the prime important, especially out of 17 sustainable development goals which has been enlisted by United Nations, and bamboo playing many of them, starting from the first developmental goals, the strategy that is end to the poverty, where the bamboo is well linked with, because the bamboo is usually being grown in unfertile lands, and this bamboo can be further meet the livelihoods of poor farmers. And in the SDG, the bamboo is well being thought with to meet the hunger, where whenever the famines, droughts comes, the rhizomes, bamboo rhizomes, the seeds of the bamboos, and you might well know how the bamboo was played, our ancestral, right? So seeds are generally used as an edible component, and it can replace the rice definitely in terms of its nutrient. Whichever may be, bamboo never been die due to drought. There is no such studies or incidences we have seen the drought influenced death of bamboo. It's not been. So bamboo is also been equally contributing in gender equality, so that anybody can work. So both men and women together can harness the bamboo, especially in southern parts of the states, like especially Kerala and in northeastern regions, where the home gardens, where the bamboo is majorly grown in home gardens, has been well utilized by the real being connected with the women's. Though the farm grown bamboo agriculture is little bit complexities in harvesting, still the bamboo is being treated as producing a gender equality, especially in Karnataka regions, where the Soliga tribes of BRLs, once I was visited during last 2 months back, I was seeing the harvesting the bamboo by the women, especially the rhizomes for routine consumption. And it is also well connected with the meeting the clean energy, carbon sequestration, where the one of the bamboo, that is Mosa bamboo in China, elsewhere it was reported that it can sequester twice the carbon absorbed by the other fast growing tree species, especially the pines, the others. So that is the one of the pioneered gift which the nature is having, and it is been well documented because of its fast growth. Bamboo is growing very fast. Within 5 to 6 years, it can attain a maturity and can be harvested. And this may not be met with other woody species like the other slow growing indigenous tree species. It takes 10 to 15 years, at least very minimum 10 to 15 years to get maturity. So, but by the time bamboo can sequester 2 times than the other. And once it can be grown and it can act as a meeting the clean energy, bamboo is well being works with industry, meeting industrial goals, paper requirements, and other purposes where it can be used in the industrial things. Likewise, bamboo also connected with the meeting the sustainable cities, responsible in consumptions and productions, especially poles, fibers, engineered bamboos, especially bamboo mats, and mixing with the other components. So in this way, the bamboo is well connected with the almost all the sustainable development goals. And how the scope of bamboo in throughout the world has been increasing nowadays. especially China, Myanmar were the predominant bamboo growing countries. Thereafter, India is the third most dominated distribution of bamboo. And it has been used in various purposes like industrialized, handicrafts, raw materials as a pulp and paper industry, charcoal making. So their share is almost major in these top three. And nowadays, due to many advancements, technical innovations in other concepts, other materials like iron, plastics, and composites. And these things have been hindering the India's, especially India's. When you look at this table, it definitely shows you that among the top 5 global countries, especially China, European Union, USA, Japan, and India, clearly deal that China is having the maximum export. China is spending a lot of bamboo materials to the broad. Especially India is also one of the components where we are importing much of this. See this export-import balance between China and India. India is almost, we are importing the bamboo products in terms of raw material or in terms of the converted materials or produces. And how the China is progressing towards this. Last, I have read one article was clearly that last 20 years, the China is so advanced in bamboo productions and export oriented. And this is how the China's strategy is overwhelming over the other countries. Though we are the third top in the globe towards the production of bamboo, but our productivity or export potential of India is very low. See, we are not exporting anything except the bamboo raw materials. We are all reliant on the Burma and China. So, what the problem is with India, where you are not able to produce enough resources that may be well connected with the marketing, that may be well connected with the soil fertility or productivity of our land. And maybe there is a gap in technical or technology sharing with the other research institutes or the extension organizations, where they are failing or they are hindering in to meet these productivity concepts. Especially few countries, the few states are been met in terms of production, especially the northeastern states, where dominantly we are getting the much of the bamboo from the northeastern states, followed by the Madhya Pradesh and Chhattisgarh. We are also getting a few components. Maharashtra is also a major share in bamboo production or its resource distribution. But still, the other states are having a meager composition in terms of production or overall natural, either the tree outside the forest, the bamboo outside the forest, or within the forest. The contribution is very meager. And that's why we are more on import rather than export. And last few years, the production is further decreased. See, for example, see this graph, but it shows that since 2007 onwards, once the Forest Dwellers Rights Act once it came into the picture, And after that, or during the same period or same decade, the Green India mission, when it comes, so ban of the harvesting of the green materials further hindered the production of bamboo, substantially decreased the production of bamboo in the country. So recently, see, the production is further declining towards only 2,000 rather than 17,000 million. So that is one thing we have to look into consideration, and the competent, the neighboring country, they are making a overall to the in terms of export, competing with the, especially the innovative things, production of or making the innovative ideas on bamboos is their biggest win-win situation. And these Chinese bamboo materials are especially, they are sending to the financially rich countries, economically rich countries, especially like European Unions, where it is the European Union is the largest trading partner for the China, and China is looks such countries only because that is their marketing strategy. And China's export of bamboo and rattan product, which has almost tripled in the recent times, 2.22 billion US dollars. And in the China, there have been about 7 million farmers are being involved in channel processing. But their strategy is very stringent, and this is how they are being targeted for further doubling up of their productions from 18 to 2000. When you look at this data, continuous increase of their productions, and during the decade, and their milestone development has reached very much and going to be achieved. But what the India's marketing strategy, the developmental strategy are yet to be developed to meet this China's market. The only thing is that where we are left behind is the industrial perspectives. Raw material is available in country, in the India. Lot of raw material is there. That is what we can call it as a study which IIFM has done. We have done a study in Maharashtra, in Gadchiroli areas, by linking between the supply to demand pull or supply push to demand pull. There is a lot of material has been produced in the forest, not only in the forest, also in the tree outside the forest, the bamboo outside the forest. But only thing is that whatever the production is there, they are not being sustainably utilizing that. No industries are coming forward to purchase the material which has been produced. That's why the paper is also one of the such industry. Earlier, during 1936, before independence, the bamboo was the sole component in paper industry. Up to 1958, bamboo is the only material for making the paper. Thereafter, due to advancement of technologies, the bamboo has slowly been replaced by wood components. They have started mixing bamboo with wood, 50% or 50-20%, and substantially thereafter the industries are nowadays purchasing only wood materials. Only 20% of the bamboo is being mixing with wood or paper production. That is how the bamboo industry is been declining, and the production of bamboo and the share in paper industry has been declining substantially from 1970s to 2010. And this is one of the a major hinder for India's supply, that is demand pull side. Supply is there, supply is not a thing here. Only the demand is the problem. So another sector of bamboo is the housing sector. Previously, India, during 2000, where the much of the rural households are being built with the bamboo, being used as a bamboo poles, or the huts have been constructed with the bamboo only. Here's see the kacha houses. Kacha house means the house which are having without any cement or burnt bricks on the walls or the roofs. So 70% of the kacha houses are built with bamboo during 1990s. Thereafter, due to various central government schemes on housing, especially Pradhan Mantri housing schemes, and their 100% Pakka house for the country, and it has slowly been replaced with bamboo. See that this graph, now especially northeastern regions and eastern regions, 70% was the composition in the huts as a bamboo, but all have been replaced with the cement by 2018. And there is a target by 2028, 100% with cement. And this is one, what I am saying is that there is no use from the demand side. Demand is being substantially decreasing, and it has been replaced by other materials. And there are the recent studies which are also being said that, especially in 2005, before this, 52% of the composition used for paper making, and it has been, their consumption has been substantially decreased to only 26% annually, what these state forest report 2019 says. And when you compare with this China, during this period, it has been, their production has doubled. And this is how, why this, the decline in consumption, a decline in demand are being from 1980s especially to 1990, and decadal changes. Earlier, when the no innovative techniques in industry, where the only raw material which has been used as a source. But due to advancement of technological things and few processing industries, the value-added products has been replacing nowadays. See, for example, 1980, only 10% was the value-added processings. It has been slightly increased, but the increase is not significant. This we requires. What we requires is the value addition and processings. The raw material is there, say 40% was the raw material, still has been increased to 55% in 1990s. Further, the raw material is produced, increasing. The forest, the bamboo or the bamboo outside the forest has been increasing proportionately. There may be, this may be attributed by the government schemes, promotions, especially Krishi Pratsaha Yojana, National Bamboo Mission is there, state-wise also been much effort is being put on production of the bamboos, and the farmers are being accepted. That it shows the data. But the only thing is that the graph shows there is no such changes in terms of value addition and consumption. And this we have to look into the concern what the country or the government has to look at the value addition and processing. Once we will get high demand on industrial value additions, ultimately the proportionally the rural bamboo can be consumed. Otherwise, there is no import, there is no demand on that side. It cannot be. And our study also been well connected with this. And who can we meet? When you look back with this export and import side, global export and import, India has been in the verge of decline. So rather the high extent of raw material available in the country, we are not able to export this raw material. This is because why? This is because of the innovativeness in bamboo, generation of new concepts, especially like bamboo flooring, making the mats, utensils where the bamboo is much being consumed. China is working on these concepts, not like the other traditional use. So if we can work on these components, definitely the India's bamboo can be exported to the other countries. Say for example, when you talk about this productivity concepts, the India is having the Indian forest, the productivity of the India's forest, especially as a general concept of forest, only 2.5 cubic meter per hectare per year. And this is unsustainable, definitely, because we are not adding any fertilizers, we are not taking any of the activities in the forest. So what we need is to increase the sustainability, and also proportionally we have to look over the productivity. One point here we have to consider is the demand pull. The another point is most important is the how best we are harvesting the bamboo from the forest, because where it is connected with here, are we managing bamboo forest sustainably? If yes, we are managing bamboo forest sustainably because we have now been protected the bamboo forest or the forest as a general. We're not taking any harvesting activities in the protected areas, especially like national parks, sanctuary, wildlife sanctuary, or sanctuaries, vice preserve, wherever it may be. These are all called as virgin forest, untouched forest. And if we say yes, we are maintaining the sustainability because we are not permitting to harvest the bamboo from the forest, then simply protecting the bamboo in the forest, can we call it as sustainability? And how can we say this as the word as sustainability, where sustainability means the benefits as much we are benefiting today, receiving today, the future generation has to receive the same minimum benefits what the sustainability is called as. But can we benefiting from the bamboo today? Because all the things has been protected. We are not harvesting any bamboo from the forest. And what happening to that? The bamboos which has been protected are reserved in the forests all have been either maybe a decaying or recycling in the forest itself. They are not being utilized in those things, except here and there where the community forest rights are there. If any policy changes or the change in the regulations for provision of harvesting collection in those areas where it has been, then there is a substantial change in the production. But the government is much looking on the other aspects, like not to touch the forest. If it is yes, not to touch the forest or the bamboo, then the only we have the scope is outside the forest area, where we can call it as agroforestry or farm forestry, whichever. There is a lot of scope in growing the trees, the bamboo especially in the outside the forest, maybe roadsides, denuded hills, tank kattas are there, Goma lands are there, community lands are there. These are big unutilized lands. And there is a high scope because bamboo can grow anywhere in the lands with less fertility, very hardy soils. Bamboo can adjust because there is a grass. And this bamboo doesn't require any separate care for cultivation. It requires some technological concepts, but still look it as a neglected crop. Sometimes you can have. But how best we are importing, how best we are growing is the question here. If we need a proper productivity, we can apply technical concepts, especially the silvicultural things. Otherwise, the bamboo can also be grown in any type of lands where it can be. Say, for example, we have assessed, AIFM has assessed the sustainability of the bamboo in one of the state, the Maharashtra. And in this study, we have assessed the criteria and indicators to meet the sustainability of the bamboo. What are the criteria or the indicators are required for managing the bamboo, and how best it can help in meeting the tribal livelihoods or rural livelihoods. This we have been studied in 2 districts of the Maharashtra. And we have also inquired we have also surveyed in the study areas while taking into consideration of especially the various departments, the community rights, the other societies which have been managing the forest. And based on this, we have considered few of the concepts, especially policy, bamboo policy, bamboo as a business, and how these been connected with the common vision, that is to meet the sustainable development goals. Here in this study, the state of Maharashtra, especially the one district is Gadchiroli district, Maharashtra. Here we have set some criteria. That is, one criteria is the livelihood related components. Nistar means the fees kept for harvesting in the rights areas. Harvesting rates with a minimum fee has to be paid by the villagers. The other criteria we have set is wage payments, value additions, and marketing. These are the criteria and the indicators, how it reveals from these forest departments, communities, rural communities, and the forest development corporations. Because the co-production or the production is entirely relied on three concepts. One is the forests are in general being managed by three concepts or three components in the society. Few areas by managed by the tribal itself, that is called community rights, forest rights. Some more areas been managed by forest department wholly. Another few areas being managed by forest development corporations. And the few extent of land, the forests being managed by the panchayats, what is called peace. So while considering the four criteria, the four service, the societies, their role is entirely different. The forest department usually look for only protections, and they will not bother about the livelihood aspects of the tribals. Maybe, but their significant role is protection of the resource. And community forest rights are there as per the 2016 Act, Forest Right Acts, where the community itself been managing the forest lands, and they are harvesting, they are cultivating, and they are best utilizing the bamboo resources, as in particular forest as in general. The Forest Corporation is also looking, but the Forest Development Corporations of Maharashtra is only majorly looking at financial concepts. What is the profitability over the forest? Cost benefit ratio is well been connected. And in this study, we have also analyzed the health of the forest in these four community lands and these four forest lands, from the forest departments or community lands or forest corporations and panchayat lands. And wherever the bamboo which has been managed by the communities, we have received a good response in terms of bamboo production, because the tribals, they may have also know how to harvest the bamboo, how to manage it, how to cultivate it. They have their know, because they are traditionally connected with the nature. On the other hand, in a few areas where the forest department is monitoring those bamboo forests or being either infected by diseases, forest fire, or by other pressures, because especially the congestion of the bamboos. So what I mean to say is that a minimum interference with bamboo is very essential to meet the productivity of the forest, the bamboo, especially forest dominated bamboos. And Chandrapur is the one of the best case study. We have recorded that wherever the communities, the bamboo has been managed, are been healthy than those which are being entirely managed by the forest departments. This is one of the good stand where this picture reveals that due to a good interpretations a good technological advancements or better harvesting abilities of the bamboo reveals to be one of the best management. And only harvesting is not the ultimate result. Facilitating the assisted natural regeneration is also one of the best. Either maybe through rhizomes or seeds. Then only continuous age gradations we will get. Otherwise, only harvesting and will not concentrating any regeneration, then entirely the young population will not be met. And what is this sustainability is relied on this. So sustainability means it includes all the ages with continuous yield. And in this study, we have assessed the livelihoods of the tribals who are being managed the forest in the community areas and panchayats areas. We have assessed the Gadchiroli and Chandrapur districts that the bamboo forest is being managed. Wage rate, area to be harvested in the community areas, the bamboo selling price, whom to be sell, and what the community forest rates, whatever the amount they have earned, what it can be used for. It has been, we have assessed to check the livelihood component of the tribals. Are they getting any benefits from the bamboo? So what the results revealed that from this study is that whatever the bamboos which are harvested from the community rights, or the bamboos which are harvested from the community lands, the sole authority given to the community peoples or tribal peoples, being utilized for the money being utilized for development of the villages as a whole. And when we asked the tribals, what is your price for harvesting per head? And they revealed that the bamboos which are being harvested from community lands, they are getting 55 rupees per bamboo, and each 5 rupees per bundles per day, either maybe. But on the same way, if you can multiply this with a total, they may get each harvester or worker or the farmer or the tribe who may get 473 rupees per day. It is more than enough to maintain his life in the where he or the tribal is settled. But on the same way, where the forest departments, they are also harvesting the bamboos here and there. And what is they are paying to the harvester or the tribe who is harvesting the bamboo? Only 36 rupees. The contribution of forest department and forest development corporations towards the livelihood of the worker is less than the communities, the bamboos which are managed by forest communities and the panchayats areas. The only thing is that ultimately the bamboo sold to the trader, middleman. Here, the bamboo is ultimately sold to the middleman. Here, the forest department will take care about the trade, whatever the harvest from the forest department or forest development corporations they are being handled. But the community lands where the bamboo is grown, the traders may play a biggest role here. Once they harvest, they will keep in the forest land or in the village itself throughout the year. No guarantee to take it to the market, and in this way, they may not get the promised in the what is the price for the control here is the inter-entry middleman, and the control of the harvested material is entirely on the forest department, because the forest department or the governments are always take care about the produce, then this markets the other two sides. And in this way, where the forest bamboo resources can play an important role in meeting the livelihood of the tribals who are, and this is what they require for tribals or the villagers, what they require who are settling in the forest fringes or fringe areas, what they require is continuous work instead of migrating to urban areas. If the forest department will give a proper employment to the communities with a good wage system, definitely the tribals or the dwellers may not migrate to the urban areas. Likewise, bamboo is one component. So this is also best connected with the amla. It's also been also connected with the honey, also been connected with the resins and gums. And whatever the bamboos, once it has been harvested from the tribal areas or the forest areas or from the tree outside, wherever it directly goes to the market. Either maybe the value is added in the market or before it reaching to the market. And there the use of the bamboo is innumerable. Start with the ladders, start with the poles. It also component of the other structural bearing, load bearing materials. The bamboo is also has been connected with the brooms, where the bamboo is not being used. There is no such place where we could not see without bamboo. Starting from gods, gifts, idols, to the end of this human, like that is cradles, to take to the burial places. And not only our neighboring countries like the Nepal is also been one of the good example where they are also been much connected with the bamboo livelihoods, especially the tribals who are been working on chair makings, basket makings, making the cords. So in this way, bamboo can. Say for example, last year we visited one of the fringe areas of the Nepal with a study. It is about the intergovernmental study, but we have assessed with the sectoral things. One of the farmer, we have inquired the Nepali farmer, he definitely revealed that due to the bamboo based products, he was earned 6,000 rupees per week, and which is more than the other livelihood based works like building constructions. So bamboo is clearly says that one of the farmer who is getting 6,000 rupees per week, and if you multiply with month, definitely he may get 30,000 rupees in the backward areas. That too, not in the cities. Backward areas, a farmer is getting, and it is more than enough to meet his livelihood, especially to take care about his children's. And the government, Nepal government is also looking on the multi-stakeholder related marketings, especially whatever the material which is being produced from the agriculture or forests. Government is the responsible mediator here. The government has to create some marketing sphere so that it can be consumed by the urban peoples. Otherwise, there is no consumption, only production, so that ultimately the price may be fluctuated. And if so, bamboo is being everywhere, it is being used from baskets, ladders, cradles, making tortillas, huts, wherever. Then why it is not being popular? Why it is been not been considered as a trade oriented? That is one of the concept. We are also looking since many years, unearthing about this hidden concept of non-popularity of the bamboo is very questionable. And where we are being missing. And where is that particular pin we have to look into? Fit a particular. That is important. Especially as we know that previous slides, bamboo is generating much benefit to the tribals ultimately to the villagers equivalently, because say for example, this look at this slide, you are surprised to just say that 20 million peoples are directly involved in bamboo related activities. 20 million people are currently involved in bamboo related activities, either from harvesting to end use, where bamboo crafts. 1 ton of bamboo provides about 350 man days, and it creates huge employment to the country. The down scope is the India's, although 90% of the share in total overall world's contribution, the market is reached with only meager, that is 6% only. So demand pull is very essential at the present condition. Production is in terms of the productions, there is a huge production from the forest and the outside the forest. But the only thing is that we have to more to export on the other international. Then only we can fulfill the farmers' minimum supports. Though we are using predominantly in the country, but export is very important at present circumstances. And the manage one of the institute which is decided in Hyderabad, they have also worked on this. A pioneering institute which has been working on the societal upliftments. They have also trying much effort on finding out the gaps between the supply and the demand, where actually been. And this study was they have done in the Bihar areas, Purnia districts, where one of the backward district in the north side of the Bihar, a border to the Nepal. And their objective was to assess the socio-economic condition, especially of the farmers who are being growing. If a farmer is adopted a particular bamboo cultivation, are they getting the particular benefits? If a particular artisan who is working on the bamboo, are they satisfied with what their work? That their intention is in this study. And they are linked with this with the livelihood of the forest and the livelihood of the villagers. What is their employment generation? And if it is at all, bamboo is a good source, then how it is linked with the migration concepts, especially in the Bihar, because Bihar is the Bihar, Uttar Pradesh, the Jharkhand are the slightly backward areas, and much of the migration is towards the south and towards the north has been happening. And why it is being is there any scope to stop the migration intensity that the manage was worked? And this a survey with the farmers who have been working on the bamboos been made with a number of villages. Manage has surveyed, and the farmers, the cultivators who has been inquired and asked about the, are you happy with the bamboo cultivation? Are we happy with the bamboo production? Whatever the bamboo which they have surveyed in this, especially whatever the bamboos which has been grown by the farmers, 85% of the share is from the marginal farmers. 85%. And the rich farmers, it is less. And small farmers, they may have cultivated, but the share is very meager. This may be entirely directly connected with the land holding. Poor farmers cannot much depend on the long rotation crops. The poor farmers are relied on the annual crops. Once they can grow any crops, within 3 months they expect some benefits. The dependency of the poor farmers on the wood or long gestation period crops is very meager. So in this study, the predominancy of farmers who are depending on cultivation, especially the middle income farming groups, been more. And in this survey, the study was also found that the gender and youths share in bamboo based works. 97% of the peoples who are working on bamboo, especially with also farmers, are all from the male. Then the question arises, why male only has been? This is because the handling the bamboo at the time of harvesting, removing the culms from the clump, separation from the leaves or from the thorns, that is very cumbersome work. Women may not do such activities. So that's why the involvement of bamboo is more in men's rather than the women's. And at the same time, if you look at this pie chart with age, about 38% of the farmers who have been surveyed, they are with the age of 30 to 35 and thereafter 46 to 60 year old. Young people are not much reliant on the bamboo productions. Our young farmers are not being working on the bamboo. whatever the old aged and middle aged farmers are there, the Bihar are been farming the bamboo in the or adopted the bamboo in their farmlands. And we have also that manage also been studied the monthly income from the farmers who ever been adopted this farming activity. The farmer was said that about 77 farmers with a percentage of 64%, they are saying that only 8,500 rupees monthly income they are getting. The predominantly they are saying that only 8,500 and 8,000 to 10,000, 20%, and more than that they are getting in the lesser extent. So what I mean to say that elsewhere the bamboo price in the market is been not taken place. So here the government has to look to provide a minimum supports to the farming communities where they are grown since 4 years. Say for example, this farmer, if I inquired this farmer, he may have cultivated 5 years continuously without any intermediary yield. After 5 years, if only he is getting 8,500 per month, that is too less. And that too, wasting his time and also the land holdings, loss of productivity of the land, input, fertilizer applications, protection and managements. So somewhere the farmers are also reluctant to adopt the bamboo cultivation in the farming areas. If really the bamboo faces a good price, it definitely meets the livelihood of the farmers. Instead of going to the monocropping, the farmer definitely can put bamboo in the forest, in the agricultural lands, so that at least the subsidiary income can be met. So few farmers say this. This slide says that no income from the bamboo has been reported. That too predominantly 58% of the survey. So what I mean to connect here is that the proportional marketing, price determination and demand pull is very essential. If demand is there in the market, definitely the farmer will get substantial income. And only the farmer we require is to avoid the middleman's wages. The middleman, he may pay a lesser extent of money to the farmer. If you avoid the middleman's entry, definitely there may be a substantial contribution to the livelihood of the farmer. And definitely there is a mixed response in terms of profitability. Say for example, there was 58% of the farmers are also saying that bamboo is profitable. Bamboo is profitable only when it is properly put into the agricultural land with a particular density or with management techniques. And after the end of the rotation, the time should be coincides with the price. The proper pricing, if you create the proper atmosphere, if you create for price determination, definitely the farmer will. And this is how the country will requires. Anyway, this national forest policy, the draft policy in 2018, it definitely also says that the forest cover must be outside the forest area. The tree cover must be outside the forest area, and bamboo is playing important role. And what else we requires? substantially we can increase the cover outside the forest, that itself meet the national goal of that achieving the 33% of forest cover by 2028 or 30. And the researchers in that managed institute, they also been surveyed the intensity of migration who have been working on the bamboo, especially bamboo workers. After harvesting, once it comes to the craft or artsman, those who are involved in bamboo workers are making any particular products, innovative things. Says that a majority of the farmers says that whoever been involved in bamboo related work for making baskets, for making pots, for making a new innovative things from the bamboo, always the bamboo can give continuous source of employment to the workers, bamboo workers. See, for example, the last line says that 43% of the workers who are working on bamboo are not being migrated. And majority of the been working on in the Bihar. So only one thing is what they require, the bamboo workers, is a continuous flow of material supply to the artisans. Throughout the year, the raw material must be given to these artisans. Sometimes during the peak rainy seasons, bamboo may not be harvested. So that a gap of 4 months, you cannot sit without any such activities. So what he need, the bamboo related workers, he need how to adjust with other alternatives, additional works to meet during the dormant time where the bamboo is being not received for working. So that's why sometimes these bamboo workers, if bamboo is not supplied during the rainy seasons, what they will do? They will start alternative works to meet their livelihoods. And in this survey, they said that about 35% of the bamboo workers means who are artisans, who are also being alternatively dependent on the other works like mason constructions. And there are 50% says that they are being migrated to there whenever the bamboo work is not there. So much concern is being required at present conditions. The institutions, the stakeholders have to look over at this point where the things has to be taken care to meet the sustainability of the bamboo to the bamboo workers. It is not the farmer's responsibility. Farmers accordingly can harvest and accordingly to his convenience he can grow. It is also not the responsibility of the bamboo worker or the artisans. According to his convenience he can work. Here the stockholders, especially the institutions, the extension institutes, research organizations has to look over at this and to create a continuous supply of raw materials to these apartments so that the peoples can continuously depend on bamboo. And continuous or depending on the one component is also sometimes looks not good. If there is any failure in the supply chain, then entirely its whole lifespan will be changed. So alternative work is essential at present situations like COVID, but the main work of the villager or the tribals or the persons who are dependent on or traditionally dependent on these activities shall has to continue their works. Say for example, in a one study, we have asked a one bamboo worker, that is, he is called as a seller. Earlier his fathers and forefathers are been in the farming land, that is called agriculture laborers, usually routinely working on the other farmers' land for routine basis. But due to some family problems, his father was not unable to work on the farming community because of age-related problems. And this man, what he is looking in this picture, was a 10-year-old that time. Due to inability of his father's working capacity, he has faced many things, like especially to meet the food, to feed these families, for educations, clothings, everywhere he has been facing. Suddenly, one day on the road while he was traveling, he said that he was seen one farmer, the roadside seller, the baskets and bamboo-based basket seller, and he asked about what about the financial feasibility of this or market feasibility of this if I take into consideration of this work. And that man, the unknown person who has directly he has said that, so if I work continuously for a day, I would get as much as I require for to spend about or to feed his family. And he has surprised by selling a bamboo baskets or bamboo nuts. If I am getting a full income, why can't I not to adopt these things? So he taken the help from the roadside vendor, and he started the bamboo-based activity, selling the bamboo baskets to the villages, nearby villages, the semi-urban areas, and this is how he has become more dependent on that. And thereafter, he has built house, and he gave a good education to his children. So bamboo can having a versatile role in meeting such a substantial livelihoods, and we cannot underestimate the prudential roles of such materials. Okay. Nowadays, I think I have also been, or you might have seen that the clothes sellers, they will visit to our households to sell his clothes. We are reluctant to purchase those, but whenever any innovative bamboo crafts or materials comes, we will also enthusiastic to purchase those things. And that is how the bamboo is. Not only the metal bands or the bamboo related art crafts, the farmers may also be increase their farm incomes, especially the doubling the farm incomes. Say for example, in a study, one of the four farmer, that is Hridaya Singh, sold bamboo which is cultivated from his boundary along the agroforestry concepts, and he was sold to the self-help groups, many women self-help groups, or maybe handicrafts, those who are working on the bamboo or making the innovative bamboo crafts. He sold to the 50,000 rupees for 500 crores. And before this, the previous year, when we inquired him, only 20,000 rupees he was got a profit from the farmer, while the middleman was engaged. Because middlemen play an important role in the marketing of the bamboo. If you keep those middlemen, so definitely the farmers can get a good price by selling 50,000 rupees for 500 rather than 20,000 rupees here. It's substantially double of the previous income, and this success story is well been documented. The National Bamboo Mission. So somehow the farmers can increase that too from the growing the bamboos in the farmlands. Ultimately, agricultural land is as usual. The productivity may not be decreased by the crops. Whatever the leftover portion in the all along the boundary, of the land where the farmer can be best utilized. Instead of wasting something all along the boundary, this is how the farmers can be insisted to grow bamboo in the boundary. Yes, I have also been studied one research on the yield reduction in agroforestry. In my research only, I have been estimated the cost benefit of bamboo with agriculture. There is a substantial reduction of crop yield, especially while compared with the turmeric and ginger, which I have been studied, due to shading of the bamboo to the agriculture crops, or a allelopathic effect of bamboo on agriculture. There is been reported because of this. Some of the phenolics contents or chemicals which are present in the bamboo leaf can hinder the growth of the agriculture crops where it has been grown beneath the bamboo. But what we have studied is best thing is we have to impart these technical skills to the farmers. Whatever we have known, few allelopathic effects, yield reductions, we have to directly impart these things to the farmer's mind so that the best combination, compatibility of bamboo with agriculture can be met by farmers. And this is the research institutions, education institutions, the scientific organizations has to give a proper guidance to the farmers to plant, where to plant the bamboos, where not to. That is important. Otherwise, if you suggest to plant a bamboo in the agricultural land, because farmers are entirely dependent on his income, there is no additional salary per year, monthly salary things. But if there is a fail to meet what his agricultural crop, then in lifetime he may not adopt any agroforestry. So whatever the first gesture of the farmer is important. Building the confidentiality of the farmer is important. In one study which I took on the Karnataka itself, where the Melia dubia has been promoted nowadays, a large number of farmers has been cultivated Melia. Last few months back, I was visited the Mysore, Mandya district, Hassan districts, where the Melia growers, not only Melia, even sandalwood growers are also we have surveyed. Then one side, the government department is promoting with subsidiary. If you plant one plant, you will give at 40 rupees, second year 45 rupees, whatever it may be, according to the government scheme. The farmers are planted Melia. One from that is one Johnny from Kerala. He has planted 40 acre of Melia dubia. and it has been matured in the Mysore district, Chamra, what is that, Srirangapatna district, Srirangapatna area. And that 40-acre area, I'm surprised, it is all about 10-year-old with a particular spacings. And suddenly we have asked, why are you not yet cut this melia? And that farmer said that no industry is coming forward to purchase the melia wood. This is how, because when we ask the Hunsur industry, he is the ultimate buyer of melia or plywood. When we ask the Hunsur industry, then Hunsur industry persons, what the manager is saying that we need a particular girth of the timber. We will not purchase all the whatever the farmer grown. We need a particular girth that is 3 feet above girth. That too, the hardwood should be more. And the farmers, on the other hand, the forest department also insisted to grow with dense plantations. He has planted with 6 by 6 meter. And the Hunsur industry requires the spacings which are more than 12 by 12 meter spacings. And nobody is purchasing that. So what I am to say that, so there should be a proper scientific instructions to the farmers is very essential. And the same way the forest departments are insisting to plant the trees in the agricultural land, the forest department must also to be give instructions where to sell and where to market. There should be a proper connectivity between, as like the enthusiasm of planting to the promotion also. Only planting is promoting to the planting is not the ultimate goal. The farmers department or government departments are also be taken care about the ultimate whatever they promised and what the farmer is getting. They are promised, the many other NGOs are also been promising to have a, especially the sandalwood. You will get a millions of rupees when you plant this sandalwood. You will get a crores of rupees. That is okay, right? But the backbone is entirely those who are promoting. Is the farmer's background, the backbone that should not be leave his hand at the middle of the crop maturity. That is not the worthy component when we have assessed during my study in the FAO assessed tradable parameters of this proposed. And the bamboo is also well connected with these concepts. Somehow bamboo can be grown or somehow bamboo can be utilized, at least the small paperwood industry or handicraft industries or some other industries. Somewhere bamboo can be consumed, but not the other sandalwood and so in how, when you look at this graph, how the bamboo is generating employment to the or creating the job opportunity in the sector. In this study, where the Professor Tambe was being worked out on this, is there any scope on bamboo for creation of job opportunities? And he well found out that the paper and energy sector are the sectors where the bamboo may not get such a significant job opportunities, because paper and pulpwood already been the production or consumption of the bamboo in the paper and energy sector has been decreased. Much of the job opportunity has been withdrawn. The job opportunities in bamboo sector, especially the horticulture and scaffoldings, are also been somehow better. That too not significant, because in the horticulture sectors, wherever the bamboo is only being used for sticks to support to the grape plantations, bamboo sticks to support to the young planted horticultural crops. There is the only use bamboo sticks, and their production is not big. But where we need a much concern is the bamboo is creating much job in handicrafts, in statistics, the mats. There nowadays their requirement and demand is been increasing. Much of the middlemen are working on this. Much of the stakeholders are also, but the industries are also being depending on this medium scale. If we need, the government has to a little bit take care about the premium processing, especially in the what the China model is nowadays. They are doing, especially like floorings, tile making with help of bamboo floors as a part of urban development programs or carbon sequestration programs or clean development mechanism programs, where we can get or we can generate huge job opportunities. And this is not yet been taken care. This is the where we have to look over. The national bamboo missions, the agriculture, because nowadays the national bamboo mission at the scope of bamboo in agroforestry or outside the forest comes, the Ministry of Environment and Forest, it has been, the department has now been shifted towards Agriculture Ministry, Agriculture, Farmers Cooperation and Agriculture, because nowadays bamboo becomes a part of agriculture. Anyway, the Agriculture Ministry, the House of Agriculture Ministry has to take care on the well processing of the bamboos. Definitely, the country can achieve a significant job opportunities for producing various bamboo products like insect sticks, traditional furnitures, so that it can be. Nowadays, the engineered concept, engineered bamboo boards, the involvement, technological advancement of engineerings, all been coming in the societies. The country, the India has to adopt such new innovative ideas, innovative things. Grooming the innovative ideas shall only meet this. And because bamboo is nowhere least, definitely bamboo can replacing the teak, and also there are many well documented studies that it can also be replacing the steel. How we can make? Sometimes there is a question on this: how can the bamboo can replace the teak and steel? So nowadays, due to earthquakes, no such concretes, the iron, the steel built buildings are withstanding against the earthquakes, especially the Himalayan region or northeast regions. Last year only huge. Due to landslides, huge houses have been damaged. And last month I was also visited the Uttarakhand state with some studies, the plantation studies. And I also pictured some of the houses which has been built with earthquake proof, because Himalayas are more earthquake prone areas. Earlier, whichever the houses which are built with steel and teak, been replacing now the farmers, the tribal itself, with bamboo, especially to build along they were giving additional support with bamboo wherever the twist, wherever the sliding happens in the building. That they are putting purposefully the bamboos. And this is the government is also suggesting to use earthquake-proof engineered bamboos for building the houses. Because of this added benefits of the bamboos, it is a termite-proof, bamboo is waterproof, weatherproof, least shrinkage, fire resistant, stronger than steel, and because bamboo sometimes bend, bamboo sometimes broken or break down. This one steel, bamboo never. It is having high tensile strength. It can bend, may not break. In that way, the bamboo, and there are many artisans, they are also suggesting that bamboo is the world's first particle board which has been prepared with 100% use of bamboo. And artisans are also saying that bamboos, Katanga bamboo, is a good raw material. Definitely, it is the highest density in the world. So anyway, the artisans will get continuous at least 40 years of guaranteed buyback contracts. What the artisans nowadays looking. Where the bamboo is not playing important role. Always, whatever the things being covered, and the especially I have taken one story from the National Bamboo Mission. It was reported that in the Belgaum, Karnataka, where in this nearby Sankeshwar area, Vairagi bamboo market, which has been existed since 180 years ago, still they are working on this bamboo only. Nearby Sankeshwar areas, 180 years. So that means that there is a continuous livelihood support or sustainability of the bamboo in the market. That's why the industries, the depots, bamboo markets are available. And where these ancestors, the Pala Sahib ancestors, are all being migrated from the Solapur regions of Maharashtra and settled in Sankeshwar, where they have been working on the bamboo trade. This is how, and these are the small scale industries are the depots which the country requires. These are all the persons which they can play important role. They can create a source of consumption, and they can find a source of production. These depots. Farmer may not go directly to the industry and sell. And in the same way, in Emilia Ruby, what I'm saying is that, so nowadays ITC is there, Balarpur is there, Balarpur industry, Haryar Palipu paper industry is there, West Coast paper mill industry is there. There are any private bamboo based industries are running. So though ITC has a remarkable achievement in direct contact between consumer and this one, consumption, the producer and the direct consumption, but still the ITC is inundantly keeping the persons, hiring the persons who can act as a middle between the ITC and the farmer. ITC may not take a risk on to meet the farmers and purchase it. There are said reports are there, but still in practical, the middlemen are also placed. And there are essential nowadays, essential evil, what we can say it as. Middlemen are, you cannot avoid these persons. If you avoid, whole channel is become damaged. Farmer, there is no time him to go and find out the industry and sell his to the from Belgaum to the Harihar. Is not made for that. He can grow itself, but the middleman is the playing important role. But it is what we can call it as an essential evil. So the farmer ultimately get a least benefit, and the middleman ultimately get higher benefit comparatively the farmer. Anyway, so there are industries which are being bamboo-based industries or bamboo-based depots which has been working on bamboo and meeting the continuous sustainability of the bamboo to the markets. So that whatever the bamboo which is been grown in the farmer's land or plantations or in the forest land, being consuming by the farmers, are consuming or procuring from the farmers and being dispensing into the markets. That is how this farmer, his livelihood, the life is spending since 4 decades. That is more than 10 decades. This is all about 25 years. Say for example, more than 10 decades he has been working. Thereafter, whatever the procurement he has taken from the farmers, he will directly value add to the produce to make a baskets, if possible. If the surplus bamboo is there, he will directly sell out to the paper industry or pulpwood industry. But he is contributing a significant role in producing new materials at the local scale, and where the government has to look over this. Much of the incentives has to be given for the small scale industries, because bamboo is establishing industry or establishing a concept. Nowadays, bamboo based agroforestries, bamboo outside the forest, have been advancing. This is the prime important. The government, the society has to look over the establishment of small scale industries, local industries, so that whatever the produce which can be met by the farmer can be sold to it. Although there are industries are there, I'm not saying there is no industry which are being buying. There are list of industries which are being playing an important role in procurement of farm grown and forest grown bamboos. Epitome bamboo products industry is there, Balapur is there, Amlite paper mold, green gold bamboo private tech is there, Coal and India is there, green gold bamboo private tech is there. It's like that. Many major industries are there. What I mean to say that a small industries at the rural level is important. And our challenge is at least a society or the societal groups or the institutions or research organizations as a part of government, we have to create a continuous source of employment to the tribal villagers or the tribal communities, so that the millions and millions of peoples can be benefited. And by creating this, the manufacturing segments should be drawn while analyzing the the negatives and positives. The research organizations or extension institutions have to look over both sides, not only the farmer side. But also to the analysis of industrial demands, weakness and opportunities, threat assessments. So this way we can increase the scope of production of bamboos with analyzing 4-stage operational models like cultivations, processings, connectivity and marketing. So this is how we can look over the channelizing of the bamboos, varying from food to the textile, and how it can be. The proper policy formulations are required to create some of the medium and premium scale processing industries at the higher level, and that future policy should have to look over. At least 50% of the industry should be medium and premium scales. And the societies are also, the government institutions also to look over the proper networking between the financing, skills, incubations, policy and research concepts, so that this networking can be strengthened to increase the scope of sustainability of the bamboos. And this can only achieve through proper new innovative models. And it is also been taken care about the proper harvesting from the bamboo, from the forest, natural stands, so that the sustainability can be managed through proper incorporation of bamboos. The yield of the agriculture may not be compensated with rising the bamboos. So in that way, we have to give a proper guidance to the farmers to adopt bamboo in his farmlands, and we have to create some of the proper channels, not only from the farmer side and also all along the channels where from harvesters, market facilitation, industrial levels. So that has to be continuously being created, so that a proper channelizing must be taken into consideration, and that is called maturing from the or graduating from the traditional, the old concept to more towards unsustainable management of not only the forest bamboo but also the bamboos which are being grown outside the forest area, so that every step what we are going towards the upside, it can build a solid commitment to the society. For meeting those, there are some of the constraints, especially like proper technological advancement in terms of propagation and cultivation has to be come out, while well connecting with the ICR institutions, Krishi Vijnana Kendras, agriculture research stations, research institutions have to properly look over the advancement of proper mass multiplication of the things, the seedlings. The attention must also be given not only the production, processing and value addition is also an important concept. And the government are also taken care about the livelihood of the farmers, artisans and tribal peoples. And wherever there is a difficulty in marketing of any produce, the farmer, the technicians or the institutions must look at the marketing side of the any produce, because ultimately whatever the sustainability or the strategies what we are thinking shall has entirely connected with the policy. Now the government has to look over at the things, deregulation of the whatever the forests, the bamboos which are being protected. The scope has to be created so that all the communities can be benefited from the bamboos, not only from the farmer side, but also the industrial side. Then only the sustainability of the bamboo can be met. And this is very important for to meet the over conquering China's checkmates. Otherwise, we lose once somewhere and somewhere else the link between the production and the consumptions. China is looking at this point. So India is also take care about the export of the bamboo and bamboo products to the international market. Then only the farmer will also get proper income and the middleman will also get continuous employment. This is how the bamboo can be managed. This is about whatever I want to say on this point of time. If any things are the suggestions, modalities, let's have a discussion.
Hello.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Thank you, Dr. Kittur. That was wonderful. Really appreciate the in-depth presentation. You really taken us through the grassroots level issues. And with this, I would like to open the forum for Q&A. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have any questions, please raise your hand using the reactions button.
Hello.
Yes.
Actually, I am getting two voices in the clubhouse. I am a bit confused, but yeah, I joined here, so I am curious to know which part of India has highest growth of bamboo, and what are the scope of 3D printing. As I am an application engineer, and we use 3D printing a lot, and I have learned about 3D printing filament.
Please go ahead. Any questions from the audience? Please go ahead. Okay, so no more questions. Yes.
Yeah, bamboo is predominantly growing in especially Madhya Pradesh, because bamboo is a deciduous species, and the more fertility on the northeastern side and the parts of Maharashtra and Madhya Pradesh. So these are all the major producing states of bamboo. And ultimately, and this 3D printing and all, it all connect with the industrial component, and the engineered bamboo can be well being utilized. So anyway, the major producer is the three states: Madhya Pradesh, Maharashtra, and northeastern states of India. Please, Preetham.
Good afternoon. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear.
Wonderful. Thank you. Forgive me if I missed the information, but I'm interested in the. I saw a comment about environment restoration or soil restoration. Can you elaborate how bamboo is contributing in that way? And if we were to kind of expand out, if you're ramping up, how can you? What are the thinking around ensuring that it is a restorative, sustainable cultivation? Thank you.
Yeah, fine. because bamboo is one of the most hardiest species. Bamboo can be cultivated in almost all soil, except all types of soils except the alkaline and saline or water areas. So predominantly bamboo is best suited in the mining areas where the acid deposits. With the least maintenance, bamboo can be grown, because one of the project we are also been undertaken from the restoration of mined areas in bamboo with the bamboo in NCL, Northern Coal Limited, a part of a mining area about 2,000 hectares. We have been planted with bamboo. Much of the response in terms of growth attributes as compared to the other species, where we are grown with 4 to 5 comparative species like teak, Shorea robusta, Tectona grandis, the Albergesisu, and eucalyptus. The response of bamboo in restoring the mined area is more positive than the other species because of the fibrous nature of this root system bamboo. So it can easily rhizodeposit the such wastelands where the fertility or the elements are very rich. The concentration of elements are very rich in those. So the rhizodeposition mechanism, the bamboo is having a very prominent role in enriching the site.
Thank you. So this is some existing research for the mine site, so remediation. Is there any forward planning results so far, like working alongside new mine sites? You know, I'm from Australia, right? So we have some partnership projects in discussion here. So I'm just you know, interested in it's not my area, however, I'm just looking at different kind of portfolio configurations, and very interested in ESG because, you know, in a sustainability sense, I just happen to take the position that it makes good business sense, because we got this one planet, we better start taking care of it for our future ancestors, right? So yeah, I just wonder if the practices in that sector and or any others are kind of moving towards this forward planning approach, or working in with the site, or if it's mostly afterwards, or anyway, just it's an interesting line of thought. So thank you for that.
Yeah, fine. So Indian Institute of Forest Management is also looking on the impact of the migration level due to COVID, especially in the Madhya Pradesh districts of India, where we are looking the effect of bamboo growers and the tribals who have been working on the bamboo sector, how it is securing life during the pandemic period. We have drafted a proposal to the government, and this third wave, how best or how worstly if it is affecting, we are correlating with the sustainability of the bamboo sector by linking between the growers, the middlemen, and the consumer side. So I'm trying to find out how the COVID pandemic is directly affecting the bamboo sustainability. So by a year, we'll directly get some of the direct linkages where the government may look at the upcoming fourth COVID period. So based on this, our results, the government may take to consideration of source the pandemic related issues on bamboo sectors.
Thank you, Lauren, for joining us from Clubhouse. Lauren is an sustainability ambassador on Clubhouse, very active. Thank you for joining. Next,
Thank you, sir.
next question. Thank you. Next question from Preetham Reddy. Please go ahead, Mr. Preetham.
Hi, sir. Good afternoon. This was a very great session. I mean, we got a very good knowledge on the bamboo cultivation. So, on a layman language, I mean, we are going to start. I mean, if you are interested, if you are going to start the bamboo cultivation, how should we decide which is the best species suitable for our land? That is one question. And the second question, should we consult the forest department or any government agency that we're going to plant the bamboo, and should we inform them? That's the second question. And the third is, if you are going to grow bamboo, there is no safety for bamboo, because it's very rarely grown, right? I mean, like it is available only in the forest or somewhere else. But if we grow in our farmlands, there will be no safety. So how can we try to protect it? And marketing, I think yeah, we have some agencies, or we can also try to reach out to you as well. I mean, where can we after the produce is ready? Yeah. So if you can enlighten us on these areas, that would be great. Thank you.
The first question, what you are saying, that the cultivation aspects, which soil or which species. Am I audible you?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
So regarding cultivations, it is better you can visit to the concerned KVKs where you are residing. Every district there is a Krishi Vijnana Kendras are there, and universities are also working on this. The University of Agricultural Sciences, Dharwad, GKVK is also there in Bangalore, and such wherever you are residing, there may be a forestry colleges or research institutes which are working on the bamboo, because this is all about a technical concept. Which species I have to plant, because it cannot be a species specific, not to the state or not to the particular. It is especially specific to the soil fertility. All species may not grow in all regions. So that's why prior to planting, the proper soil checkings, the soil condition, in addition to the whether is there any market demand for that particular the plant which is suggested by any scientist, that is important. So as per where you are residing, I think you are residing in the Bangalore region or part of Karnataka. Definitely there are Bhima bamboo, Medar bamboo, there are bamboos are there. It can give a good income or yield in your areas. And that too, if you are residing in the Kolar regions, that Kolar district is very harsh area with few rainfall, that is rain shadow area. So some of the species which are resistant to stress, water stress, has to be raised. And the spacing especially is very important. You cannot plant very closely or you cannot plant very widely. And the government or any institutes, wherever you go, always suggesting to plant bamboos in the lands where it is unfeasible for agriculture cultivation. All along the boundary of your farmland, wherever the land is wastage, and you are managing your farmland, unable to manage because you are working in some sectoral offices, nobody is taking care about their land, then you can have a plantation, bamboo plantation in that concepts. Or otherwise, always suggesting to put tree components on all along the boundary side. One point. The second point is that the assurance, bamboo is nowadays stabilized. And it's not a recent phenomenon. The marketing of bamboo is not a recent. It has been come from our ancestral background. It's not like there is a high fluctuations on the market and these demands. It is always stable market. Can increase but never decreases the market. What we have been till date, we have about price may be constant. So only the thing is that finding out the proper species with proper the soil condition is important, with proper spacing that we have. And third one, what you are saying is the government, they all been working on the minimum support price for the farmers, whoever it may be, any type of the farmer, a big farmer or small farmer, marginal farmer. They are continuously supporting. The societies are bamboo societies are also supporting. NGOs are also been supporting. We have a cultivation of bamboo based, and the societies are somewhere they can also connecting the producer to the end user. There are a lot of stakeholders are registered with the bamboo societies and the bamboo organizations or NGOs. They can also facilitate you to market your produce as per the South India is concerned.
Thank you. There are no more questions. Dr. K.N. Murthy, would you like to add anything, sir? Dr. K.N. Murthy? Okay. So there are no more questions. Dr. Kittur, I think we'll end the session today. It's been wonderful. Thank you for sharing your thoughts and really raising the awareness of the current situation. We thoroughly enjoyed your presentation, sir. So, ladies and gentlemen, with this, we come to the end of today's session. And I would like to wish you all a very happy weekend and stay safe at home. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, dear participants, listening the session throughout the time. And thank you all.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Lauren.
Bhimappa.
Thank you.
Thank you, Murthy, sir. If any things you can please.
Murthy, sir,
Ah,
you're back. Would you like to add anything?
nothing in particular.
Okay, sir. So we closed the session today. Thank you, gentlemen.
Yeah,
Please
thank
follow
you,
us
sir.
on YouTube and join the Telegram link. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.